Today we're going to learn how to do some of our fabric folds that we can then dye in our Shibori inspired project. We're going to start first with this type of fold. So this is what the material looked like, kind of all folded up. I had already dyed it in this picture, and this is what it looks like when you kind of undo the fabric and take it all apart. So this is the finished product. So to make this type of fold, we do an accordion fold, which means you fold one way and then you flip it and fold it the opposite way. Flip, flip. It's called an accordion fold because it kind of looks like an accordion, the instrument. When it's done, it should look a little something like this. And I have a little extra fabric. I'm just gonna tuck it in. I'm going to use a big rubber band for this. I'm going to start at one end and try to keep my fabric from all coming undone. And I'm going to maybe use my arm and just press down the fold. And I'm going to wrap the rubber band around. I'm going to twist the rubber band and go back. So I'm pulling and twisting so that my rubber band is securing the fabric in the folds. And that should be enough. So you're trying to feel to make sure that your rubber band is tight enough where it won't fall off the fabric. I'm gonna go ahead and go to this end next, and that will help keep my folds together. I'm going to put the rubber band around, trying to keep the same amount of distance. So here I did about an inch. I'm gonna try to do the same kind of distance on this one. So I'm pulling the rubber band, I'm twisting and going back around, twist. If you've ever done like a ponytail, it's the same kind of motion. And this one looks a little loose, so I'm actually gonna do it one more time. Okay, so I can see that one looks shorter, so I'm actually gonna gently pull the rubber band down a little bit. And now they're matching a little better. So you can see from the picture, I'm gonna keep doing a few more rubber bands, which give me this pattern. So these lines are from the 4 rubber bands. So now that I have more fabric, it's a little bit trickier, but I am doing the same motion. I'm twisting my rubber band around so that it will secure my fabric together. And I do not want to keep going where my rubber band is too tight that it will break. I'm gonna push it down a little bit more. Like that, because I kind of want these to be the same distance, because that means I'll have the same amount of shape in my fabric pattern. So I'm gonna go to the other side, do the same thing. So I'm twisting the rubber band. I do my hair a lot, so I'm pretty fast at this. But I know that you guys can do it with a little practice. And then I have space for one more. I'm gonna put one more in the middle. Yours, if you do this pattern, doesn't have to have 5 like mine does. You can see in this example, I did 4. I would try not to get too crazy. Like I wouldn't do more than maybe 6 or 7 though, because then your lines are gonna be so close together, you won't be able to see your pattern very well. The one in the middle is the trickiest because you have to go around all this extra fabric. So twisting the rubber band. And now I'm gonna try to spread them out so that they're equal distance. Okay, that's good enough. So there's my first one. Next, let's do this kind of triangle pattern. We can see after it's been dyed, and when you undo the fabric, it looks like this. So it's a really pretty kind of geometric triangle pattern. For this next fold, we're gonna be doing a kind of a bigger accordion fold. So in order to see where we fold it, the first thing we're gonna do is fold our fabric in half and then kind of crease the side. And then we're gonna fold again and crease the fabric. And when I undo it, you can now see lines that divide my fabric into 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. So now I know where to fold. I'm going to do an accordion fold again. So I fold up and flip, I fold up and flip, and I fold up. So now my fabric had equal folds. We can see the accordion. Now I'm going to start folding into triangles. I want to bring the corner up to the side and then flip it over and then fold down. This one's a tricky one, but you can do it. I'm going to flip it over and then fold sideways. I'm going to flip it over and fold down. I'm going to flip it over and fold down, flip, fold, and then now I have one more flip. So you should have a little baby triangle. You can see this one is a little tricky to do. We're going to use the small rubber band and try to use it to keep these corners together. So I'm going to keep my folds together and spread out the rubber band. You can start on any corner, it doesn't matter which one. And I'm going to twist the rubber band, and we're gonna do it 2 times because we really don't want these to fall off, like this. Now I can go to the other one, and it should stay together now since it's rubber banded. And then 1, 2. I'll try to do it further down. So 1, and come on, 2. There we go. So my triangle fold. Last, let's do this fold. This one uses a good amount of rubber bands. So for this next fold, we're going to fold our fabric into 3 sections. So once like this, and then flip it over, and once like this. And now I'm going to kind of pinch together some places on my fabric that I want my circle pattern to be. So for this example, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For this one, I think I'm gonna do, let's see how many will fit, maybe 3, because this is a little bit smaller. So I'm twisting, and I think that's enough. We wanna make sure it's not gonna fall off. And let's do 1 here, because I do kind of wanna make it a diagonal pattern, because that will make my circles spread out like how I want. So pinch your fabric and tie it. Oh, whoopsie. Okay, that might happen sometimes. It's okay, I'm gonna get another one. Try to be gentle, because we don't wanna waste the rubber bands, but it might happen that you accidentally break one. Just don't pull too hard. And then let's do 1 more over here. I'm pinching. So this one, it's gonna look pretty crazy. I'm just gonna keep pinching and kind of pulling my fabric together and tying it in rows. So I wanna kind of tuck that little piece in there too. So I'm pinching my fabric together And it's okay, this one's a little bit more random, but it will make circle shapes at the end. So this one next. I want to keep going all the way towards the middle because all of these rubber bands are going to help make my pattern on my final. Because everywhere that the rubber band is, the dye can't get to the fabric. So that's how we get the white parts. And I think I'm gonna maybe do 2 more rubber bands in the middle. 1 more.